everyone, it's James from the Fit RV and RV Cat Mods Part 2. We're finishing off Mel's executive washroom. The main thing we're going to be doing in this video is building a wall to separate his part of the exterior storage compartment from the rest. But let me catch you up on what I've done since I made the little cat door. So Mel's litter box. This has been what we've used traditionally for Mel's litter box. It's a top-loading litter box. There are a couple problems with it. First, it's too big. Like, I couldn't put it in the exterior storage compartment this way. The door wouldn't close. I had to put it this way. And then that makes it take up more of the compartment than it needs to. So that was bad. And then the second thing is a little too tall for Mel to get into easily when he came through that door. So this works great. Other places, inside that compartment, not so much. So I got to work making something else. I made this. This is an ABS box. Basically, I just got a sheet of ABS, cut 5 pieces, made it into a box, glued it up with ABS cement, the same cement you would use to glue up like sewer pipes or something. That was pretty easy. And I sized it exactly to fit in the exterior storage compartment front to back. Conveniently, it's also the same size that will hold one of these. Now, this is what we use for a litter box when we're on the road. It's like a paper disposable litter box. And that just fits in there, and when it gets like super gross and dirty, we can just throw it away and use a new one, and we don't have to spend a whole lot of time, trying to rinse things out on the road. But the main thing we're doing, take all this aside, the main thing we're doing is we're going to build a wall, divider wall, between Mel's part of the storage compartment and the other part. And to do that, we're going to use a large tool. Now, honestly, I could probably do this more quickly and easily, doing it manually by hand, just tracing things and whatever. But we have this new CNC router, and I need to teach myself to use it. And so this Mel's executive washroom mod is going to be the first thing that gets cut on my new CNC router. So the way we're going to do it is first I have to go make a template. It's a very irregular shape in that compartment. And so I'm going to take a piece of cardboard, which I've been saving from large boxes, which I've been having delivered. We're going to take this piece of cardboard and we're going to template that compartment out and get something that fits pretty snugly in there. Then at night, when everybody's gone to bed, I will get to work digitizing that layout and putting it into Fusion 360 or CAD program. From there, I will take that and then I will use that to cut, hopefully tomorrow, on the CNC, assuming I can learn all this, on the CNC router, cut that divider wall. And then we'll see if it fits. So that's what's going to happen here. At the end of it, hopefully Mel's got his executive washroom all finished and we'll be good to go. So let's get to it. You want to help? So the litter box is going to go kind of here-ish. I'll build a platform to put it on. So the partition is going to be somewhere in this neighborhood. So what I need to do is get some overall dimensions. Let's go 520 by 645 inside. If you've never tried it before, you can cut cardboard with a table saw. It works out pretty well. The best part about cutting cardboard on the table saw is you don't really have to be worried about kickback. All right. Top. I gotta cut it back to here. I made this knife. Oh, would you look at that? That's pretty close. And then up here, I could certainly round that over like that. It's pretty good. And now does it close, I guess? Seems like it did. All right, it's the next day. I took my little template and measured things out and made a 3D model, and then put that in the software to generate a tool path. And on the computer screen, it looks like everything's going to work out just great. It's going to cut out my piece and leave little tabs and whatever. Doing it in real life may turn out to be a different story, but we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing I need is a piece of raw stock, and I'm gonna make this piece quite a bit bigger than it needs to be because this is gonna be literally my first time cutting something with the machine, and I don't wanna crash it into one of the clamps or something like that, so I wanna give myself plenty of space. So 570 by 710 millimeters. Okay. Let's see. I had this working before. There it goes. It should just barely touch it. And then back off a bit. Okay. Normally I would run this with dust collection active, but A, the parts to add dust collection to this haven't come in yet. And B, since this is the very first thing, literally, it hasn't cut anything yet. This is the very first thing I've cut with it. I want to be able to see what's going on in case something messes up. So apparently, all I need to tell it to do at this point is start. I am ready to tell it to bail. And I accidentally hit the button. Here we go, I guess. The machine axis position limit was reached. The axis was now stopped. Well, that was sort of interesting. As it finished the cut, there was a little bit of warp in the plywood and it broke free of the tabs that were holding it down. Anyway, we now have a piece. So I guess the next thing is to go see if it fits in the compartment. Well, whatever other difficulties I may have had, that actually fits surprisingly well. Wow. All right, so the next things I'm going to do then is I'm going to go and make some angle brackets so I can attach this thing around the perimeter of the compartment. And then yeah, put some foam tape on the edges and stick it in place. Wow. I'm pleased with how it turned out. Go. Then the ceiling. Okay, so turns out this wood was warped. It was the same thing that was causing problems on the CNC machine, but it's in there more or less straight now, and I put this weather stripping on the outside that should seal up against the door. Now, I want to make a shelf in here so that Mel's litter box is not like a drop down into the litter box. So what I think I'm going to do, oh, look at this, is to do something about like that. The litter box will go on top, and I can keep supplies and stuff underneath for changing out the litter box, you know, and a little scooper and a brush and whatever. So that's what I'm aiming for, and I'm just kind of working with some of these scraps now. So I'm plugging in an iron. Yes, an iron. This is just a regular iron that we used to use in the house, and then the steam thing quit working on it. I'm going to join these two pieces with pocket screws, but two edges, these two, when I put it in the compartment, are going to show. And I don't want to look at the ugly ends of plywood, so I'm going to put some edge banding on them. Shouldn't take too long. So this is the edge banding. It's a PVC product. It's a little bit thicker than the standard melamine edge banding, and it more closely matches what Winnebago's used in the Echo. So cut it just a little bit long. It's got adhesive on the back of it, and basically you really do just iron it on. Trimming up the ends of this, it's pretty simple. You just take a chisel, set it right there on the corner. Let me get a wider chisel and give it a whack, and it's trimmed. Okay, we're gonna attach this to that with some pocket screws. Pocket screws, the way it works, it's like you can join things by drilling screws and driving screws at an angle through these two pieces of wood. And since the weight's going to be coming down, I'm completely confident in the pocket screws holding that stuff together. You do it with a little jig like this. There are several different kinds, but this is just the one I have. And let's see, we need it on the inside of the, ooh, I could do it on the outside. And then we're just going to punch a screw hole through here. Hopefully I had everything set properly. And you get a nice angled hole. And then you drive screws through it and it holds them together. But I'm going to do two more holes while I've got this up here. Okay. Now we have our pocket holes. I think if I get a bracket under there, it'll certainly hold Mel's weight. So we're going to get a bracket and yeah, finish that up. When I said get a bracket, what I really meant was make a bracket. All right. There we go. All right, so now that Mel's litter box would go in there. Get this out. Extra disposable litter boxes, supplies, whatever would go down there. And then the lid. Let's make sure the lid closes. So what strikes me the most about this project is the staggering number and expense of the tools required to complete it. So we used a CNC router, about 100 drills and drill bits, a table saw, edge banding. Yeah, this got a little bit more involved, and I'm quite confident that Mel won't appreciate it any more than if I had just put it on some cardboard boxes in there. Anyway, this completes Mel's executive washroom. So Mel now has his own private restroom with space for extra supplies. I could even put like a little litter scoop down there or whatever. So I'm calling this one done. I have to put away literally every tool in my shop because it took them all to do this. Anyway, that's it. Cat Mod Part 2 in the bag. Bye.